Okay, so the first card is about devotion, and maybe you're involved in a relationship that you've been putting all your efforts and energies and focusing on it. So you've given a lot of yourself to it. There might be some kind of triangle, love triangle. There might be two other people or three people that you're dealing with at this particular moment, and this might be causing a little bit of problems because it is causing a little bit of strife over there. So there's a love triangle, or there's some threesome. There's something that is going on with involving two other people that is presenting a lot of problems. But you are quite devoted to this relationship. You're putting that effort and energy. You can see this person is pretty tied, because of all the energy that you've been putting in it. So you are very focused on making this relationship work. But there is something that's presenting some kind of problem. You are dealing with some kind of love triangle or something that involves a few other people. Now, in the past, you've got the Justice card over here, so there might have been some legal decision or something official that you were waiting for, or some kind of decision that was passed. There could have been some kind of compensation or payout that came out due to whatever that decision was. So it seems like you benefited from whatever that decision was. So going into the future, you've got the social rituals and the strategy. So social rituals is talking about going out there and making friends, meeting people, getting out there, putting yourself out there, and collaborating with a lot of people, or meeting a lot of people, especially if you want to start a new relationship, or maybe if you want to bring some life back into this old relationship. It is time for you to get out there and push yourself out there. And you've got a strategy card over here. So whatever you're involved in, if you're dealing with three people, you need to have a proper strategy in place in order for you to sort through the situation. So be planned out, really. So have a plan in place before you approach anything, or if you want to do anything, make sure that you are thinking very strategically. Think of long-term effects of what goes on right now, and have a plan in place. So those are the energies for those 2 weeks. So I'm using the Symbolon deck for the main read. And this is not a tarot deck, so it's not going to have the same symbology as the traditional Rider-Waite deck. So you might be married at this particular time, because this is the card of marriage, and it seems like it's a really stable relationship. You are with somebody, you're working towards future goals, you're setting down roots, getting yourself established, and moving to the future together. You have a common vision in mind. So that seems to be, it seems like there's a lot of harmony that is going on over there. Now, you've been thinking a lot about the past. You've got this card of memory over here. So thinking about the past, remembering events that happened a lot about the past. Maybe, things that were not so good, things that were good. But definitely, this is almost like the Six of Cups, remembering things that happened in the past. Or even meeting up with people from the past. You've got this card of, something happening in the past. Maybe there's an event that you remembered from the past where you made some kind of mistake. It was an unintentional action on your part that caused somebody else to be hurt in the process. And maybe you're remembering that and you're feeling a bit guilty about it. It's because this is the card of guilt. This man is going to be shooting, throwing that spear, and he accidentally hits this unicorn. So something that you did by mistake, destroyed something wonderful in your life. And maybe this is what you've been thinking about recently. So you've been spending a lot of time, remembering some kind of event, or even beating yourself up about that event that happened. Maybe it happened by accident and it wasn't your fault, but you still feel a little guilty for whatever happened. So something that has happened that you have been thinking about the past. Now, in the past year, you've got this card about being, a little bit reckless in how you've been handling things. Maybe you've been having your head in the clouds, not really making proper plans. Having some kind of vision in your head, and not really watching out for any kind of pitfalls. So you've got this broken bridge over here, and this man is walking, looking up at the sky rather than looking at where he's walking, and this is bound to end up in a disaster. So you know, you have been maybe not been basing a lot of things on reality, and you know, having a lot of ideas in your head, you know, making a lot of plans, but not really applying these plans to whatever you've been doing. Maybe there's also a broken relationship that you're trying to heal or mend, or you're trying to transform yourself into something else, but you're not actually basing those plans on reality. Now, because of that, you know, this has led to a little bit of depression. You know, you maybe you have visions or you have expectations that are just not going to be able to be realized, and this is making you feel a bit depressed. You can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're feeling a bit unhappy about this. Maybe you've been also spending a lot of time by yourself, feeling a bit miserable because these you know, these expectations that you have out of, you know, maybe from this relationship in itself may not be very reality based. You know, you need to get out of that energy of feeling down or thinking too much about the past. It seems like, you know, you might be calling into memory events that, you know, is best forgotten, and it's best to move away from that energy. If you're feeling guilty about something, you know, you can't change it. So rather than getting depressed about it, it is best to move away from it. Focus on the now rather than focusing on what could have been. So you've got, you know, you're thinking about this relationship. Maybe you and your partner are having a little bit of problems. There might be a little bit of difficulty in communication. There might be some arguments that are coming on. So there seems to be difficult communication, maybe some fighting going on, and maybe this has been playing on your mind. Maybe this has been, you know, brought to mind an event that happened in the past, because you all are starting to have a little bit of difficulties. There's, you know, you're hitting a few hitches. You know, all relationships are not smooth sailing, and this might be just an argument that might just end up blowing over. You might be feeling a little bit restricted as well by this relationship. You know, you're feeling as though this person is maybe telling you what to do, and you know, you're not very happy about it. You're feeling as though you're a bit controlled. Being manipulated within the situation. So it feels like, you know, you've got this feeling as though, you know, you want to be in control, and this person is telling you what to do, and this is probably, you know, causing a little bit of arguments and fighting that is going on. There might be a power play that is going on, power struggle going on within that relationship, and this is causing that depression. Now, it is a reasonably stable relationship, you know, and the card below it is about not telling each other everything, and not, you know, keeping secrets from each other. So, you know, you and your partner need to actually open up to each other in order for you to make this relationship work. And, you know, if you're feeling as though this person is controlling you too much, you need to bring that to light. You need to tell them, you know, don't let it end up in a situation where you're fighting with each other over it. You feel as though you're making a lot of sacrifices for this particular relationship, and that you're carrying a lot of burdens and responsibilities. Maybe you feel like you're doing all the work in this relationship, and maybe you're doing all the nurturing. Maybe you have a family together and you are doing all the, you know, you're looking after the children, or you're looking after all the things that are going on in the home, and you're feeling as though that's a lot of responsibilities and burdens. So really, it is a time for you people, you know, to get together to share things. Now, whatever happens from this, you've got this phoenix rising. You'll get over this situation. It shows that, you know, whatever problems and obstacles that you are encountering at this particular moment, you will be able to overcome it, and you will be able to move on. Now, going into the future, you've got this card of feeling very isolated and depressed and miserable and lonely. And, you know, this might be, you know, if you don't open the channels of communication, this is where things will be heading. Also, it might be, you know, you might be feeling as though you haven't achieved what you wanted to achieve, and this is making you feel very miserable, and in itself, it's isolating you from your partner. And because of that, you know, you might be feeling as though you all are moving in different directions, that you all are not, you know, connecting with each other anymore. Maybe you feel as though the vision that you all had, or the way your relationship is going, is not the same. Maybe you see things in different ways and different things. And this is the reason why you do need to open that communication, that channel of communication. Now, you all are still connected, because you can see this man is still holding this woman's hand. You know, so you all are still connected. It's just that maybe you'll see things in different ways. You're growing in different directions, but in order to bring yourself back on track again, you'll need to speak to each other. And you need to get out of that feeling about feeling depressed or miserable or upset every time you have some kind of disagreement or some kind of argument. So these seem to be really, they might be small problems that can be just dealt with if you open the channels of communication and express how you feel. And don't isolate yourself from your partner. You need to really talk to each other. So I'm just going to draw some cards from the Archangel Power Tarot. The relationship itself seems to be reasonably stable. It seems to be a good relationship, but for the fact that you are not communicating with each other and that you do need to speak to each other so that you don't feel as though you're the one that is carrying all the burdens, doing all the hard work in that relationship, and you're not being recognized for it. Now you've got the King of Michael, and this is a card that is saying wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. So it looks like you all do need to talk to each other. You need to have a heart-to-heart with each other and speak to each other and tell each other exactly what is going on. You've got the Lovers card over here, so making choices from the heart, deeply emotional commitments, and the power of love. So it looks like once you do that, there is some kind of choice that is coming up over here, and you need to find that balance again within that relationship again, and don't give up with this justice card. It seems like you will rekindle that love or that relationship, but you do need to be very, very clear and open up that channel of communication and talk to each other and find that balance back again. Now, if this is any kind of legal situation that you're going through, but the rest of the cards are not indicating any kind of breakup as such, but if it is any legal situations, there looks like there will be some kind of choice and a decision will be made. You don't want to end up with a relationship that is legally severed. If you're married, you don't want to end up with a divorce that didn't need to happen, and it only happened because there was a lack of communication. So it's very important to lay your cards on the table, and it's important for you to communicate how you're feeling, exactly how you're feeling to your partner, and stop isolating yourself and stop thinking about the past. Events that have happened and they've gone, and you need to stop the blame game. You stop playing the blame game. So both of you need to be very open and honest and say whatever you're feeling and whatever you're thinking, and get that balance back in that relationship in order for you to overcome these problems and move on. So I do hope that this reading has resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Leave me some comments if it has. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.